Well, the government is now proposing that students transitioning to join to junior secondary school under the competency-based curriculum study in day schools and not in boarding schools. While in a discussion online, the government spokesperson who engaged key players in the education sector stated that this group of pupils will be hosted in junior secondary schools domiciled in existing secondary schools and not primary schools. Leila Mohammed has those details coming on the backdrop of fears of how schools will manage the huge numbers expected in the institutions come January 2023.
Is that okay? Yes. So continue doing it.
As the new academic year takes off with two major national exams expected later in the year, focus now shifts on January 2023, where about 2.4 million pupils will transition from primary level into secondary school. The huge numbers and the capacity of the schools involved to host them has been a matter of concern to many parents. The government notes that it is aware of the fact that at this stage it will be dealing with a double intake. Therefore, with the pressure that this situation brings on the infrastructure, it says that it is working on the classrooms that are required. It is hoped that within the next 2 years, 20,000 classrooms will have been completed.
The transition from grade 6 to 7 will be in such a way that students transit to schools that are within where they are now in school. Therefore, the capacity for boarding may not be necessary at the junior secondary level, because the thinking and the planning is that this is a day school. Remember, we are dealing with quite young kids at this level.
The ministry is proposing to collapse the various categories of schools as they accommodate the junior secondary students within the secondary school system.
Maybe at the senior secondary level, we may need boarding facilities because of the specialization. But right now, the movement to junior secondary is basically a day schooling affair. So the classrooms will be in place, the dormitories may not be needed at this level.
The ministry says that the selection criteria has been set out for the candidates who will be seating for their grade 6 national assessment later in the year.
It will be informed by the capability of parents to be able to transport their child to the schools that are chosen. It will be informed by the performance of the learners in grade 6. As you have heard, my colleague from NEC has said there will be a grade 6 report that will be given at the end of grade 6, which shall include assessment from grade 4, 5, and 6. It shall be informed that, but it shall also be informed by the choices of the learners, and especially in terms of what they will choose in what we call optional subjects, those that shall not be offered and are not compulsory to all learners, but the child has an interest in them. Then the schools offering those subjects, they shall be informed which schools they are within the proximity of where they stay.
With just about 10,000 public secondary schools available to absorb the huge number of children, many private institutions have expressed interest in filling some of the gaps left as they too seek to host quite a number of the students expected to transition into junior secondary school. The government says that over 60,000 teachers in secondary schools are getting training ahead of the current grade 6 students transitioning to junior high school in January 2023. Leila Mohammed, NTV.